Vampyr o'yinimizni davom etamiz. Sezdirmasdan o'ldirishga harakat qilaman bitta-bittalar. Afsuski sezib qoldi. Tepa qismdagilarni o'ldirib olsak. Tepada yana bormikan? Pastda ikkitasi turibdi. Tashqarini ham ko'raychi. Tashqarida yo'q menimcha. Oba. Bizda pistolet bor-a, bitta qo'limizda. Dasta qilich. Yomon emas. Bu yerdagilarni hammasini o'ldirdik adashmasa. Bu odamlardan qolgan narsalarni yig'ib olmasak, o'zimizga yomon bo'ladi. Qon izi bo'ylab ketgan deyapti hozir bizga. Qani, qon izi. Biz mana o tepani yaxshilab kuzatib olaychi. Aytishursin, ko'rdim. Bir emas ikkita. Yaxshi, bir zarbada o'lyapti. Hozir biz adashmasam mana shu ichkariga kirishimiz kerak. Mana bu joy qaysi unda? Ah. Narsasi chiqmaydimi buni? Hech narsasi yo'q ekan. Sezib qoldingmi? Xo'sh. Tashlanib chiqaring menga. Bir joyda qotib qoldi u. Mana shu narsani qo'riqlagan ekan-da. Patron +5. Xullas o'qlarni to'ldirib oldim. Tepa qismda ham narsalar bo'lishi mumkin. Dushman ham bor ekan hattoki. Tepani tozalab bo'ldik, yana endi mana shu yo'limizda davom etamiz. Ishqilib biz umuman orqaga qaytmayapmizmi? Menimcha bor-ku, biz qaytdik ortga. Hechqisi yo'q. Narsalarni yig'ishtirib oldik-ku. Bekorga qaytmabmiz. Severniy dok. Mana shunday hududga yetib keldik.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Staraya kassa. Двуручное оружие. O'rnatib olamizmi? Hozir ko'ramiz, qani. Demek ikkita qo'lda uradi. Bo'ldi, tushunarli. Hech bo'lmaganda mana shu joy ochiq ekan. Bir odam o'tiribdi bu yerda. Xo'sh, mana bu joyda tangami? Obbo, nima bo'ldi? Birinchi boss adashmasam. William Bishop. Hayyaramaz. Ikkita namr ishlatish kerak. O'ldirdik va nihoyat. Men bitta tangani olmoqchi edim, hech oldirtirmadi. Urushayotgan paytda olmas ekan. Xo'sh, kimnidir mazasi qochib yotibdi men bitta. Gaplashish kerak adashmasam.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
Wow, shu yerga turgandi. O'lmagan ekan. Oho. Kim bo'ldi bu qiz?
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by skull?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Demek bu qiz ham vampir ekan. Tushunarli.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help.
Professor Ku.
Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful.
Bizga yordam berishga yetib kelibdi-da.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Nimadir qilishimiz kerak ekan, hozircha bitta o'ligini tekshirish kerakmi?
This poor creature can't be my
Obraz искровый William Bishop.
Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Abrazisni qo'lga kiritdik. O'sha qonini tekshirsa kerak-da.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that
Qayerda
skull.
ketyapmiz mana
You must
mazza.
know who she is.
And I thought you were gentlemen.
Yomg'ir
Shouldn't talk
yog'yapti.
about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to
Yetib
learn.
kelganga o'xshaymiz-a,
Of
manzilimizga.
that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Доставьте меня в больницу. Pemburskaya больница. Mana shunday joyga yetib kelibmiz. Masofa 50 metr. Kalla kesarlar. Nima qilishyapti?
Rotten all perceive. Each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse.
Nima qilsak bo'lar ekan? Xo'sh, kasalxonaga olib boramizmi yoki o'ldiramizmi?
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Xo'sh, buni gipnoz qilsak bo'lar ekan.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance.
Идите по красному пути, чтобы завести жертву под тьму. Yashirincha joyga olib kelish kerak ekan. Qonini ichmoqchi buni adashmasam. Объять, отпустить. Отпустить qilamizmi?
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Odamlar haqida ko'proq ma'lumot yig'sa, ko'proq opit berar ekan. Hozir uni o'ldirganning foydasi yo'q. Xo'sh, informatsiya. Bu haqida hali to'liq ma'lumotga ega emasmiz.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
happened? Whoa, I feel giddy.
Wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend.
Kasal odamlar ko'pligidan hattoki buni tashqariga joy qilishgan.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Мест нет. Joy yo'q ekan.
Good evening.
Bu hamshira bilan ham
I'm Dr.
gaplashaylikchi.
Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Bu hamshira bilan ham gaplashib oldik. Endi esa qolganlar bilan gaplashib chiqamiz. Agar gaplashsa.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Targovat, ko'raylik-chi, nimalar sotar
I'd
ekan
like
bu
to see
odam.
your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Drabavik Milton. Ha. Demak, qurol o'qlarni sotar ekanda. Detal. Xo'sh, prodat. Nimani sotib yuborsak bo'ladi? Оружие и детали. Боеприпасы. Хлам. Mana shu xlamni sotsa bo'ladi. Qaysi bir detalni olsak bo'ladi? O'q kerak emas bizga. Drabovik kerakmikan? Bizda o'zi 109 tanga bor. Pulimiz yetmadi sotib olishga. Ha, hozircha biz hech narsani sotib olmaymiz. ichkariga
Dr.
kiraylikchi.
Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Xo'sh. Kasallardan birimi deyman?
I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of pustulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Kasal qiz bilan ham gaplashdik. Bu yerda hali gaplashadigan odamlar ko'p, adashmasam.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Damn.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotar syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Bu hammasi bilan gaplashib chiqamiz desak, 1 soat ham yetmaydiganga o'xshaydi. Asosiy ishga borishimiz kerak unda. Xo'sh, bu eshik tashqariga chiqish adashmasam. Hozircha chiqmay turamiz. Ikkinchi qavatga chiqaylik bo'lmasam qani. 3-chi qavat ham bor ekan hattoki. Старая пила.
It's locked, all right.
Закрыто. Qanaqa qilib ochadi unda buni?
This must be the place. It's definitely away from
o'zimizni dam olish xonamizga yetib keldik.
Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Kiyinib oldi adashmasam, boshqacha. Qaysi bir kiyimi yaxshi ekan? Hozir ko'ramiz. Mana shunaqa yurgani yaxshi, tinchgina. Изготовление предметов. Чтобы получить новый рецепт, нужно проанализировать найденные ингредиенты. Tushunarli. Образец крови Уильям Бишофа. Demek mana shuni tayyorlab olishimiz kerak adashmasam. Qandaydir narsalar yetishmadi-da. Железо, natriya. Qatdan topamiz endi bu narsani?
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutations.
Отдохнуть в кровати
This
до
is not
ночи.
what happened to me. I must keep on searching.
Dam olishni maslahat berishdi.
I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete,
Глава 2.
I'd
Белый
better learn
халат.
to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my
Значит,
thirst for
смена.
blood?
Qayerga borishimiz kerak ekan endi? Hamshira kelibdi oldimizga. Demak, gaplashish kerak.
Dr. Swansea asked me.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Demek biz hozir morgga borishimiz kerak. Tushunarli. Morg bo'lsa morgga boramiz. O'ttiz uch metr bor ekan hali.
Scowl voices in the garden.
O'tchi nursin, nima
I
bo'lyapti?
should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Bitta bor ekan-a, bitta vampir. Oh. Yomon ekan u. Ehtiyot bo'lish kerak bulardan. Mana yana yuribdi. Ayla bir amallab bittasini o'ldirdim. Oh. Urug'ini biznikidan ancha katta ekan. Biz urug'inimiz 5 bo'lsa, uniki 7. Фотография, бумажники. Tashlandiq joylar hamma yoq dabdalasi chiqib yotibdi. Manda hozir kalit bor. Morgni ichiga kirishga. Mana shu joyga kirishimiz kerak ekan. Karantin deb yozib qo'yibdi. Qani bo'lmasam o'likxonaga kiraylik-chi. Старый морг. Xo'sh, nima deb yozib qo'yibdi? Найти полезный ингредиент в старом морге. Найти тартрат железа, найти хинин, найти гипохлорид натрия. Tushunarli. Mana shu narsalarni izlab topish kerak. Bu yerda mendan boshqalar ham borga o'xshayapti.
I cannot enter.
Dver zaperta. Nimadir bormi o'zi bu yerda? Oh, jin ursin. Ana bo'lmasa. Kela hol.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain.
Manimcha bittasini
The
topdik.
sickness moves faster than influenza.
Xinin degan narsani topamiz. To'g'risini aytsam, duruşni orужиямыз menga yoqmadi. Almashtirib olamizmi o'zimiznikiga? Mana shu edi, adashmasam o'zimizniki. Levaya rukaga, misol uchun, старый revolver. Mana shuni qo'yaylik-chi.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Yerto'lani kalitini. Oh, Kela qol. Boom. Yaxshi. Qayerdan paydo bo'ldi u? Biz kelganimizda yo'q edi-yu. Uchinchi qavatni ham bir tekshiraylik-chi. Bo'ldi. Qaytishimizga to'g'ri kelyapti orqaga. Birgina panjarali joy ochilmadi. Voh. Tezlik qildi. Mana shu joyga tushib ketdi hozir. Endi bizga anchagina qiyin bo'ladi.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Qani. Mana psichka mana. Qo'rqishimizga hojat ham yo'q.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. It's locked.
Shunda men hozir mana bu sandiqni ocha olmadim.
It's locked, all right.
Qachon ochadi? Biz bu yerga boshqa qaytib kelmasak kerak. Ichkariga kiraymi ekan? Qiziq. Hozir shoshmay turchi. Ikkita zarbani o'zida o'ldirdim. Yomon emas. Qana bo'lmasam, John Doe, boss. Ko'zi yonyapti buni. Chalg'itadigan xususiyatlari bor ekan. Ko'zdan g'oyib bo'ldi.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger.
Qandaydir suyuqlikni qo'lga kiritdik.
So tempting.
Darrov tark etmaymiz bu joyni. Tekshirish kerak, nima bor, nima yo'q. Nimadir qolib ketsa, yana ovora bo'lib qaytib kelishimiz ham mumkin. Tartirat jelyaza. Mana shu narsa yetmayapti. kela qol. Mana qolib ketgan ekanda mana shu joyda.
Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective.
Endi o'sha narsani tayyorlab olishimiz kerak.
They do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Xullas bu morgdan kerakli narsalarni oldik. Endi esa tayyorlab olishimiz kerak.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
How long must I wait, damn it? Blaming me.
Masofa tepani ko'rsatyapti.
How long is it going to take to
Qaysi joydan chiqardi bu tepaga? O'zimizni dam oladigan xonada tayyorlab olish kerak. Va nihoyat tayyorlab oldik mana. Yana nima deyapti, men tushunmadim. Obbo, mana shu narsani yasab olish kerak ekan. Ishlatib o'ribman-ku. Qatdan topaman endi. Haligi pastdagi sotuvchida bordir balki bu narsa.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening,
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody's as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Xullas, men o'sha aytilgan narsani ishlatib qo'ydim. Endi bilmayman bu yog'iga nima qilaman. Shu narsani tayyorladyapti bu yerda. Balki mana bu joylarda bordir. Стеклянная пробирка.
It's locked.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
Not now.
Bu joyga bizni kirgizishmadi. 3-chi qavat demak yo'q.
It's locked, all right.
Mana shu narsani xayoliga ham keltirishmabdi. Hozir men xato qilib qo'ygan bo'lsam,
The flower's dying.
qattan topaman ham bu narsani. Yana morgga qaytib boramizmi? Tayyorlagin shu narsani deb yotibdi-da. Bizda bo'lsa yo'q unaqa narsa. Xullas mayli, hozircha bizning vaqtimiz tugadi. Tomosha qilganingiz uchun rahmat. Kanalga obuna bo'ling. Siz bilan keyingi qismlarda ko'rishguncha